Prashant Aswani here with JamPlay.com. In this lesson, we're going to expand upon the chord playing using hybrid picking. Let's do it. Okay, let's just start. We're going to take the G major 7, okay? We're all familiar with this by now. I mean, we just are. So we're going to take the G major 7, and rather than do it in the format of playing stabs, as we learned previous, we are going to play an arpeggio with it. So here we go. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. All right, looks easy, right? Okay, well, it can be, but there's a couple things that might not be, and let me just explain. So what I'd like to do here, like we did in previous lessons, I want to focus on the dynamic level of this right hand. Okay, so when we're picking, plucking, 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 it's really easy for the dynamics to be all over the place, okay? And the strength of each finger is going to be different, especially when you're first starting out. I mean, like, like I know for me, like I'll always pluck that last pinky way too hard. And it'll just be overpowering the chord in terms of that note will just be way too loud. And it's actually a trouble point, I think, because I don't use the pinky that much all the time in this way, right? A lot of stabs. But this, so let's figure this out. So first you're gonna pick, pluck, sustain the note, pluck, sustain the note, pluck. Notice how my hands, or my hand, my right hand, there's not two here. There is two, but not here. Notice how my right hand snaps and it goes in and it stays in, right? And I keep this position, I keep this position with the fingers pointed down, but I snap it up. So there's not much wrist happening with this. The wrist should be relaxed, fully relaxed. It's all finger. And if you really want to be able to get this quick, you're gonna realize that moving the wrist, right? So if this starts happening, which I've seen people do, that's got to stop immediately because it's not going to help you for the rest of the series. So let's try it again. This exercise, we're going to just do all 4 notes and keep the chord sustained. And it's going to be pick, pluck, 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 pick, pluck, pluck, pluck. This will develop a great strength in all of your fingers, and also the syncing should automatically improve as you are putting the hours in with this technique. Now, clearly, harmonically, there's nothing interesting happening. And the reason for that is because I want you guys to get that right hand going. Like if I start making, difficult progressions for you guys to learn first and movements, this right hand technique is going to struggle, and you'll probably develop some bad habits. So just try to tolerate, the one chord, as much as you can, and you can change the chord. I mean, you could do the same technique, and we could say you play an E minor 7. So you saw that, you know, I even made a mistake, you know, changing chords. And so rather than trouble you with that, which by the way, let me just show you this progression. So as you get it, as you get the technique down, at least you'll have something to do. There's an E minor 7, and we're just a D triad. And then I call this chord a C sharp minor 7 with the raised 5, but I'm pretty sure that that's incorrect. But I mean, if it's C, here's a C sharp minor 7, and I just, you know, do an augmented 5th. So whatever, you understand what the chord is, you can see it. Call it correct or incorrect. This isn't a theoretical lesson. In fact, I don't think you guys should worry about theory at all. If you know nothing about theory, this is the lesson for you, this series, because this has nothing to do with theory. I think that guitar playing, it shouldn't be like, theory shouldn't be forced on somebody who wants to play guitar. So this is just going to expand your abilities. And if you want to learn theory, then by all means do it. Okay, not going on, now that I went on that tangent, let's go back to the technique. So it's going to be, okay, so we're going to take a track at 80 BPM and we're going to play this and cycle it. I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this. And I want you to see what it sounds like with a track. Okay, so here it is. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, cool. So you guys get an understanding of how I want you to practice this, or learn this, really. That's what the goal is going to be, to try to get every note to sustain and be able to play this sort of a arpeggiated chord pattern using the fingers and the pick. Now, one thing I want to point out too on the left hand, when you're playing these 7th chords, you can get maximum sustain from the notes if you're not actually touching the fret. Notice how the more I'm in the middle of the fret, the sweeter the note sounds. So that's just a little tip that I've noticed when if I just stay away from the fret and be as much in the middle as I can, the better the quality of the note will be. So especially, and it's really like heard when you're using your fingers and your pick. So okay, without further ado, we're going to actually practice this together and go from there. Here it is.